Our greatest minds in history have been self-taught. Bill Gates, Frank Lloyd Wright, Malcolm X, Maya Angelou, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Ben Franklin, and Steven Spielberg, just to name a few. Nobody would dare say these men and women were uneducated, but their growth was from an environment where they could grow exponentially. I would like to call this environment the soil, where we are trying to grow these students. The soil for exponential growth in most classrooms does not exist. However, this is not for lack of effort. But if teachers are horticulturists trying to grow students year after year, then we should all study the essential nutrients that are in the soil, or the environment in which the student will grow. We now have hit pay dirt. I would like to present the check sheet. A course check sheet is a list of all the materials and everything you need to do to successfully complete the course. It includes assignments, essays, and sketches that will enhance student understanding and ability to apply the information. A check sheet emphasizes creating ability for a student. A check sheet dramatically personalizes learning, and it is the backbone of my math curriculum. Like an organism, it is constantly evolving year after year. Check sheets are dramatically different than lesson plans because it is the sequential order a student needs to study a subject for speed and comprehension. It also logs the approximate amount of time that a student spends on particular skills. As any student begins his journey of learning, it is critical that he know the three main barriers that he will encounter. These barriers can hit a student in the face like a ton of bricks. These barriers can actually cause a student to drop out and give up on school altogether. As a teacher, I work with students to recognize and remove these barriers. The first barrier is studying something that you don't have. This keeps the subject from being real and is a major cause of why students get bored and frustrated. This we call an absence of mass. This barrier is personally handled anytime it comes up. This includes demonstrations using a demo kit, which is basically a box of junk. The junk provides the manipulatives necessary so the student will have a representation of the mass which they are studying. This helps make the subject real. The student's partner, whom I call a twin, is required to see several demonstrations. I then engage the student in one-on-one checkouts where I personally confront the student to ensure they absolutely understand what they have just studied. Sometimes the concept at hand needs to be fully demonstrated in clay. This is modeling clay with labels of all the parts of the system we are studying. Math is highly abstract. Clay demonstrations help. The second barrier a student can run into, and this is very evident in math, is studying something before one learned the prerequisite. It's like starting a study without the necessary background knowledge. We can call this too steep a gradient. It's like climbing a very steep mountain with no footholds to push off of in order to get to the next level. My math organizing board that I developed lays out our entire curriculum so that I can find exactly where our students should be placed. I then personally know they are placed in the right soil to grow exponentially. I designed our curriculum so that I could have a Nikola Tesla or a Steve Jobs in my classroom, and I could meet their needs as well as my student who just arrived from Mexico and has been in and out of schools. There is a third and last barrier that is extremely important to understand. This barrier is why people can't apply what they learn from a book. This barrier is why some students can zip through a course and others are painfully slow before they finally give up learning altogether. Have you ever read a page in a book and got to the end and had no clue what you read? It wasn't something that was wrong with you. It was that you went past a word that was not understood or wrongly understood. After every section in my individualized curriculum, students are required to receive a checkout directly from the teacher that requires them not only to know a definition, but also use it. They are required to apply it and understand its proper use. They have to be able to use it expertly, and the passing standard is 100%. The checkout has to be experienced to appreciate the dramatic difference in a student's understanding and ability. With check sheets, demonstration kits, and knowledge of the common study barriers, we are effectively making a nutrient-rich soil that approximates the self-paced learning environment of the world's greatest minds. These elements should be in all public education. This is what is producing the best math scores that Center Schools has ever seen. This has helped us win the Center of Excellence Award for an impressive 4 years in a row. A teacher who doesn't individualize learning in this way can't possibly bring a student up to speed when they have been absent. I'm preparing students for jobs that haven't even been invented yet. But with this innovation, I know they are prepared to evolve, and I know they will have the ability to make the jobs of tomorrow. The pages of history are proof that real learning is personalized. Public education should be personalized. A student should be encouraged to stop and look up a word they don't understand, not penalized for it. A student should sort out their confusions by sketching or working it out in clay. Real learning breeds innovation. Innovation comes from a deep understanding of a subject, not our current glib and blank-staring students that ask, "Is this going to be on the test?" To hell with the test. What abilities are we giving our students?
Lay. Sir.